Hi, it's Diana Marchand from dianamarchand.com, and I am sitting outside. It's going to get noisy, I have a feeling, at a very cool cafe here in Nanaimo. It's great to sit outside. It's not raining right now, although it is covered, but it has a bunch of cool little shops around here. My video today is about, it's going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be about the midlife craziness and frustrations. And in the last little while, I have talked to some amazing women, so that's cool. I love how more people are finding me on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. So the thing is that there's not a lot of information out there about this midlife change, unless you go search and you go and read books in the library, whatever. But I find that women don't really want to talk about it, or they don't talk about it. And the thing is that when you hit this age, you could be any age. So I started at 43, and I know we think most people should start at about 50, and some do. So if you started earlier, or if your friends are younger, or if your friends have never talked about it, or your mom's never talked about it, when it begins to happen to you, when you start to notice the changes, you are kind of like, I don't know what's going on. Because we often think it only involves hot flashes. That's all we hear about. But it involves so much more. There are so many symptoms that you could get during perimenopause. Now, all women are totally different. And that's the thing, because every woman's different, each person experiences it in a completely different way. So there are some similarities, obviously. But so what you may hear from one person's like, oh, I didn't notice anything. Like, I felt perfectly fine, or I'm not going through anything. They may have not even started. And so then there you are having these symptoms and going, well, then why do I feel like this? Why am I going through this, right? And then there's those frustrating trips to the doctors when they either say to you, you're too young, or, shake their head, listen to you and kind of go, maybe an antidepressant will help, or let's do some tests. And then your tests come back perfectly fine, because you usually are perfectly fine. But they don't understand. You see, they don't study hormones. They don't study nutrition. If they do choose to take nutrition in their medical school, it's about 2 weeks, about a 2-week course, and it's not mandatory. So they don't have the understanding, and especially if it's a man, or if it's a woman and she hasn't gone through it, or when she went through it, she didn't have any symptoms. So anyways, there's so many things that it can really leave you feeling frustrated. It can leave you feel like you're going crazy. It can leave you feeling like, is this all in my head, right? And, your family, friends might be beginning to notice you could be acting like over emotional. You could be more stressed and overwhelmed. You could have symptoms, way more headaches, bloated, digestive problems. And then, and they could label you like, what, you're going through something, right? You're not feeling well. There's something you're going through, but then you're left at going, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I feeling this way? And then you could be at a point where you're tired, even exhausted. Maybe you have insomnia, which is a symptom. And being so tired and exhausted could be your adrenal glands, which are taxed way more at this phase of your life. The weight gain can be happening around your midsection, and that leaves you feeling more frustrated and more upset because nothing seems to work, right? So what used to work isn't working anymore. Maybe you've never had a weight gain before. That was me. I never really experienced much weight gain. And I was a personal trainer and yoga instructor when I started going through this. I had already cleaned up my diet a lot. So when this weight gain started to happen, when I didn't know what to do, when nothing worked, when I was feeling all these weird symptoms at 43, 44, 45, my doctors were saying, you're too young, it can't be, everything's fine, you just have IBS and all this stuff. Take this, right? And I refused to do anything like that. I really researched and found out everything I could, and realized, yes, I was going through perimenopause. I also really learned what was going on in my body at this time, which really, really was eye-opening. And also, again, then I felt I'm not going crazy. This is something that can really happen. It is a change of life. It is fluctuations in my hormones. That's what's causing this. It will end. Like, I read a lot of Christine Northrup and Suzanne Summers, who did a lot of research on this when she was going through it. So there is some information out there, but I think that it's not mainstream. And I do truly believe that we need to learn more about this. There needs to be more information out there. So that's really why I do what I do. I also been a raw food chef, and I've also dealt with a lot of nutrition and helping women eat healthier, right? And during this phase of life, face it, things need to change. And it's not just about the food either, which the food is a huge part of it. So women really start, when they really start to learn the types of food that work for them, because everyone's different, especially the type of foods and what works for your body at this time during this phase of life, because things are changing within you so fast and so much that things need to change. You mean you can't really continue like you did in your 20s and 30s and even early 40s. So changing what you eat at this phase of life is really important. And it doesn't have to be hard or difficult, and it doesn't have to be deprived. You don't have to feel like you're completely deprived and you can't have any of the food you love, because really that's not a way to live. I don't work with my women like that. They truly still get to enjoy the foods they love, as well as enjoying huge amounts of really healthy, nutritious foods. And when you know what those are, when you know how to bring them into your life, when you know how to prepare those food, then you love your food. You literally love your food, and it makes it so much easier. So much easier to stay on track. Okay, as you can see, I had to change locations. That other place was too busy and too noisy. Now I'm in a beautiful park here in Nanaimo. Okay, so we talked a bit about the food. Now, there's a lot of things you can do, and like I said, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be very easy. And most of my clients that I work with, they go, oh my God, this is so much easier. And it's reduced stress so much in their life, because they know, truly know, this is what I eat. This is what I know works for me, and it's delicious. So what else is there? There's also there's physical symptoms that we talked about, the bloating, the memory problems, the weight gain, the anxiety, depression, loss of sex drive, over emotional. Anyways, there's so many, right? Like I said, you don't get them all at once. It can happen, off and on, and it's different for every woman. But another thing I really wanted to talk about was the importance of how this stage of life is kind of like a rebirth in a way. And now in many cultures, they have a rites of passages, right? Rites of passages for different ages, so that, when boys become real men, and for women when they become real women. And then there's also like the wise woman age, right? Where women are revered and like, okay, they have so much knowledge, they're very wise, and they're very respected. We don't have that in our society, right? So women who are aging over 50 especially, it's like kind of like, oh, well, they're on just a slippery slope going down, and your best of your life is over with, right? I hate that. And now that I'm almost 53, there's no way that that's the way I'm going to live the rest of my life. I chose at 50 and before that to have a real decision and go, no, I have so much life to live. I have so much I want to do. I started my own business type of thing later in life. Like, so women, it is not too late. Yes, there's a learning curve, but I can tell you, even though I work a lot of hours and I do a lot of things, it's exciting and it fuels me with passion. It gives me a purpose, and I really need a purpose and passion in life. And I think a lot of women, some of the things they're experiencing, maybe a bit of the depression, the anxiety, the feeling lost. Your kids have grown. They don't really need you as much anymore. You spent so many years caregiving, taking care of your family, maybe your spouse, your husband, whatever. And now things are shifting and changing, and you kind of feel lost. That could be what you're kind of feeling, like a little lost, like, oh my God, like, what do I do? What do I do now? What do I think about? I don't know what to focus on, right? And you're so used to putting other people first that when it's time for you to put yourself first or think of yourself, it's really hard. It's such a huge adjustment that I think many women have problems with it. And society always thinks that. Though when you say, I'm going to put myself first, they're like, well, she's being a little selfish, isn't she? That is so ridiculous. I'm so tired of that. We need to break that whole crap and that whole way of thinking. Because if you are your best, if you're living your truly best life, if you are happy, if you are passionate about what you do, if you are loving your life, don't you think that's going to make a very positive change for people around you? You're going to be much happier. You're going to be like glowing. You're going to be taking care of yourself. You're going to be eating right. You're going to be doing things you love. It's going to affect every single person around you. And also, you teach your kids and stuff how they should treat themselves by how you treat yourselves. So if you always give up everything and you take care of everybody first, and you put yourself last, and you start to let yourself go and talk down about yourself, they're watching you. What do you want them to be like when they begin to age? Do you want them to, for you, what you want for them is to live healthy, happy lives, right? Truly healthy, happy lives. You should want the same thing for yourself. You truly need to. If you're going to show them that's important, then you need to show it. You need to live it. You need to be it. You need to be the example. right? The kids as they age, oh my God, we don't let our kids do enough on their own anymore. I think that's a big part of the problem. So know that it's your time. This midlife phase is a time of really finding yourself again and realizing, what can I do? And knowing that it's not too late. It's not too late to change how you eat. It's not too late to go on your own and start your own business. It's not too late if you need to leave a spouse or if you need to do something different in your life. It's really about what is important to you. What are your core values? How can you include those into your life every day? What is your soul calling you to do? Right? I think a lot of the kind of anxiety and tension that we feel sometimes is something's bubbling up. Either it's our crap that we haven't dealt with, emotional issues or things from our childhood that we haven't dealt with yet, or it's these yearnings that we've kept repressing. So are you kind of at the beginning stages where you're noticing your body starting to change? There's symptoms that you're getting, right? And you might feel like you're going crazy. Know that you're not. You can reach out to me. Be part of my community, Women Creating Healthy Lives. That is for women over 40 who want to live a healthy, happy life and who also want to educate themselves about what are the changes going on in my body? What can I do? I do recipes, I do videos, I do trainings on there, a ton of stuff, meal ideas, a whole bunch of things, right? And then I have lots of videos on YouTube. So are you somebody, and programs online to help you step by step, stage by stage, for you right now, this time in your life. I mean, so many of the diet plans out there, the books and all that, they deal with people, they kind of generalize, right? Or they're these fad diets that are so extreme that no one can possibly stick to them. You want to learn how to eat for you right now, what's right for you as an individual, you, specifically you. How to eat so that you feel your best, you start to get your energy back, you start to balance your hormones better, you start to relieve the symptoms, you feel better, you begin to lose weight, you definitely stop the weight gain. All of this while you go through this phase, right? And so what stage are you at? I mean, I still work with women, many, many women who are maybe on the edge of menopause or finished it and did not change a lot. So then they're dealing with, well, okay, I didn't change a lot. Now I've gained all this weight. I can't get rid of it yet. And oh my God, I don't know what to do. And midlife is such a crucial time too, because it's kind of like this fork in the road. We can choose, right, to really truly take care of ourselves, find out what we need to do, what can we do so that we age healthy, so that we still have our independence, so we still have our freedom, that we're still able to do things we love. Or if you don't, if you ignore things, if you stop listening to your body, if you still eat all the crappy foods, you are going to be on that slippery slope. And we know all too well what happens with people who stay on that slippery slope and how they age. You do not want to be like this. If you're someone who's still working full time, maybe you have plans for your retirement, well, I'm sorry, but if you don't start taking care of yourself, and that means stress, reducing stress, because stress has really bad implications on your health. If you don't start taking care of yourself, especially at this time in life, your future might be very bleak. All you have to do is go to a hospital or an old age home or somewhere and just look around. How do you want to age? How do you want the rest of your life to be? And how do you want to feel right now, for instance? How do you want to feel right now? So if you feel inspired, if you're like, oh my God, I gotta do something. I do have 2 programs, 30-day program, and I have an 8-week program, and both are absolutely fantastic. They really give you the step-by-step. We work on the whole person, the mind, body, and the spirit. And now I don't follow in religion. We're not talking like some religious thing. It's more so talking about relieving the stress, doing things that bring you joy in life, rearranging things in your life, making things doable for you, working through, let's say, if you are somebody who wants to start your own business or take a different direction in life, often having someone to talk to about those things, to dream, to plan, to go through, that makes such a huge difference. And I help women with that also. So it's really about, okay, this is where you are now. Let's see how we can get you feeling your best and aging in the best way possible. So I put the links here on the video. All you have to do is go to dianamarchand.com/30 days or dianamarchand.com/8-8 and check out those out and then contact me. I will also do a free call with you, no obligation, because you need to know what will work for you. And if this is right, and if I'm even the right person for you to work with, right? But know that you're not alone. You're not going crazy. There are things you can do. You can begin to feel better now. It is a phase. It will end. But it's really a time for you to start taking better care of you because you are worth it. Thanks for listening to this longer video. I so appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.